Thank you very much. I'm waiting to see along with you what the beautiful illustrations now look like. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once the paintings are done, we will have them up on the easels so that you can all get a closer look as the evening continues. But for right now, I'd like to invite Jayashree and Mr. C.K. Ranganathan back up on stage to present mementos to all of our artists. So I was just pointing out backstage while we were watching on the monitors that it's quite interesting while I was watching, especially while I was watching Joel paint, to realize that he can do with his mouth what I can barely do with my hands. And so one often wonders if disability is in fact the right word for it. Thank you to our artists and our perfectionists. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Please, Mr. Ati Veerapandian, take a bow. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving into our next set of awards very, very soon. We just have a tiny bit of stuff to be moved off the stage, and as soon as all of that is back to normal, we will continue with our awards. And I promise you, we are moving into more and more inspiring territory as the evening wears on. We will soon be looking at and presenting the Award for Eminence. Now, this is an award that's given to one person with a disability who has personally triumphed, who has gone above and beyond, who has manifested a commitment to society by establishing a service organization, and has moved from being a person with a disability to a person who helps people with disabilities. I would first like you to please pay attention to the AV.
Dr. M.A. Hassan Sahani, Kolkata, West Bengal. Dr. M.A. Hassan Sahani is the founder director of the Institute for the Handicapped and Backward People. His siblings and he developed muscular dystrophy. So from a young age, he understood the difficulties faced by people with disabilities and how they are excluded from society. This motivated Dr. Hassan to look for effective ways to bring them into the mainstream.
Founded for the disabled people for education, training, rehabilitation, employment generating. Disabled have need.
Now we are working with 750 people. We also try to include disabled persons in our staff and ranks.
The organization works on the holistic development of the children. The aim is to make them as independent as possible.
প্রত্যেকটা বাচ্চা যখন আসে বাচ্চার আমি অ্যাসেসমেন্ট করি অ্যাসেসমেন্ট করার পর বাচ্চা কোন লেভেলে আছে জানার পরই সেভাবে বাচ্চার ক্লাস দেওয়া হয় এবং প্রত্যেকটা বাচ্চাকে সেভাবে ট্রেনিং করানো হয়। এবার যে বাচ্চাগুলো একাডেমিক এইচএস পাস করার পরে ভোকেশনাল ট্রেনিংগুলো আমাদের প্রতিষ্ঠান থেকে দেওয়া হচ্ছে যাতে তারা আত্মনির্ভর হতে পারে পরবর্তী জীবনে। এই সব বাচ্চাদের বাড়িতে কোনো টিউশন এরা পায় না, তো ন্যাচারালি তাদের ডেভেলপমেন্টটা পুরোটাই আমাদেরকে করতে হয় উইথ সাপোর্ট গার্জেন, এবং তাদের বাড়ির যদি কোনো কেউ তাকে পড়ায় তার সাথে কন্ট্যাক্ট আমাদের রাখতে হয় এবং আমাদের 24 আওয়ার্স ফোন খোলা থাকে যে ওদের কন্ট্যাক্ট করার জন্য, কারণ ওদের হেল্প করার জন্যই আমরা আছি।
यहाँ आके स्टडी हो रहा है, डेवलप हो रहा है, यहाँ से हम लोग का फायदा भी मिल रहा है बहुत से, जैसे फीस नहीं देना पड़ता है, यहाँ से बहुत स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म बैग वगैरह।
এই স্কুলে এসে মানে 1-2 বলো, মানে ছোট ছোট যোগ দিও, তারপরে আন্টিরা যেভাবে মানে ফলো করার আর কি লেখাগুলো দেন, মানে ছোট ছোট দুটো মানে ওয়ার্ড লেখা নামতা এগুলো আগে মানে সব শিখেছে এখানে এসে।
Dr. Hassan's colleagues, as well as parents of the children, speak highly of him and his teaching methods. His commitment towards the cause of disability has changed the lives of hundreds of families for the better.
পয়সা তো অবশ্যই দরকার, কিন্তু পয়সার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে ওটা যে স্যাটিসফ্যাকশন নিজের যে আমি কিছু করলাম, সমাজের জন্য কিছু করতে পারলাম, এবং এন্ড অফ লাইফ যখন বৃদ্ধ হব বা কিছু হব তখনও একটা মাইন্ড স্যাটিসফ্যাকশন যে আমি কিছু করতে পেরেছি, শুধু কাজ করিনি আর নিজের ফ্যামিলি মেনটেন করিনি, তার পাশাপাশি আমি সমাজের মানুষের জন্য কিছু করতে পেরেছি।
Dr. M.A. Hassan Sahani, recipient of the Cavinkare Ability Award for Eminence 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a big, big round of applause for Dr. M.A. Hassan Sahani. He's making his way up to join us on the stage. I would now like to invite on stage Lieutenant General Arun, GOC Dakshin Bharat area, and Chairperson of the jury for the Cavinkare Ability Awards, to read the citation and present it to Dr. M.A. Hassan Sahani.
Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. Having to be the chairperson of this jury, to me was both shameful and humbling. Humbling for obvious reasons. Shameful because you ask yourself, are you doing what you should be doing? Are you doing what you can be doing? And are you doing enough? And the answer to all the three for me personally was a resounding no. That's why the shame. That is why, despite being known as a prolific speaker, I am now choking on my words and struggling to speak. While all of us, ladies and gentlemen, or most of us in the audience, get along with our lives, people like Dr. Sahani and the others you saw get along with others' lives. That is the difference between us and them. And that is the reason why we are here to honor them. Disabled is just the opposite of what they should be called. They have special abilities. I have been on this jury the last year and this year, and both times the emotions have been the same. I'm acutely uncomfortable doing this job. I've told Jayashree I will not do it again. But whenever I get a mail from Ability Foundation, I find myself saying yes, when everything wants me to say no. This year they also gave me the additional discomfort of being the chairperson of the jury, so I actually had to balance everybody's views to get to what we did. It gives me the greatest of pleasure to read out the citation of Dr. Hassan Sahani and also hand over the Cavinkare Ability Award for Eminence 2023. While I'll actually be handing over the award to Dr. Sahani, there are two awards being given today, ladies and gentlemen. Two awards for eminence being given away. I am being given the second award because it is my privilege to read the citation and hand over the award. For me, it is as big an award as anything the Army and the Government of India can give me. So it's priceless. So without further ado, let me go ahead and read the citation. So it's the Cavinkare Ability Award for Eminence for Dr. M.A. Hassan Sahani, given on this day, the 25th of February 2023. This is in recognition of excellence achieved against. We had to measure not just overcoming odds, but to see what the contribution was to the largest mass of society, and then to measure the longevity of the service rendered to the larger society.